Welcome to the Jane Love Miracle Medicine on a Thursday. Today we're going to really dig deep and get into unresolved issues. Why are we not living that perfect life, that happy life that's full of joy, full of peace, full of fulfillment and freedom? And I'm going to be sharing with you all my years of experience, where I've got to now. And, maybe there'll even be a follow-up to this. I will be also highlighting a case study specifically that happened today, and just sharing with you, how to maximize health and well-being. Having a look at, a human quest to achieve self-discovery, and it's a journey. Not a destination. We need to know that, and it's a continual self-discovery, and nobody's immune from it. We're all on the earth, and this is how we need to live. And I'm going to also sort of demystify the notion that we can keep buying products and keep visiting consultants, keep visiting coaches to heal us. No. The healing is our own self-healing, our own self-discovery. People healers are catalysts. And it's about you finding the one that's going to assist you to draw this out of yourself and achieve self-transformation at the end of the day. So we're going to be having a look at some guidelines today to maintain extremely high levels of health and well-being, to recognize a shift before we go down the track and start blaming this and blaming the airplane and blaming people and so on, and being angry or sad or fearful. Let's recognize when there's a shift required, and let's get in sync with the world, geopolitics, what's happening, the evolution that we're in, the consciousness that's shifting at such a rapid rate at the moment, and understand that our bodies are our temple. In a sense, they're holding us, and the whole entire body, whether it's bones or muscles or cells or nervous system, needs to shift accordingly, and we must allow it to do that. We must allow for the reset, and in that way we will be able to streamline our shift in consciousness, our attainment of self-discovery this lifetime and for lifetimes to come, and also to help share with other people, to not close down when there's a drama, a trauma, an accident, something meaningful that happens. That's why did it happen, why me, and all that. So we're going to go into that. I'm also going to give you quite a concise list of what this body needs as an electromagnetic being, as a battery, because I think that's critical. If the body is our temple and it's carrying us and enabling us to do our work on earth, then let's give it the best possible chance, because it would be a bit neglectful not to do that. And then at the same time work with our consciousness. So we're working in tandem to self-clear, self-purify, and get to that end result that we all so desire, being joy, freedom, happiness, and peace. And so without further ado, let's move straight into what we're doing today. Got some people that have joined us as usual, and always keen to learn, always keen to share with you. And let's knuckle down into all of this. So let me explain the case study to you that I want to share. So here's a gentleman in his late 50s, early 60s, who comes to me, who's had terrible, and I'm going to read off the sheet, gastrointestinal problems, digestion in particular for many years. Now, a bit of background. This client grew up in a home where mom was, according to his wife, to put it quite bluntly, a drunkard. So he would get home from school. He was the eldest child. He took all the responsibility. He would get home from school. Mom would be lying drunk anywhere in the house. And then he would have to make sure that there was food for the other children, himself. And dad would come home extremely angry. And he would then take it out on his oldest child, my client. So imagine this little boy born into this. Take a few steps back. This client of mine ordered this in order to shift, self-discover, purify, and move to a higher level of consciousness. Okay, so it's not about who, when, where, why, or who did it. It's about what we ordered to come in, what was agreed before we came. Let's identify it. Let's work out why it happened and what our learning is. And we hand back the memories. I can't get more simple than that. This is the formula. This is what we do. And anybody who you see who's not doing this is missing the boat, quite frankly, because you can try this product, you can try that product and all. It's not going to get you to the root cause behind and underneath the physical. So we have to dissect this all out. So here's this little boy coming into earth, happy, free, peaceful, full of joy, colliding with the genetics of the family, all the lineage colliding with the epigenetics of the family, and living his own epigenetic experiences in this family, which I've explained to you. So as a little boy, he decides that he needs to takes on the pain, the suffering, the ownership of it all. And as a result, very little joy, very little happiness, little peace. And as a little boy, how do you digest this lot? It's a tall order. And when I was going through the processing, his wife was butting in as well, not butting in, she was part of it. And she said, I just want to tell you that this is how it is. And it was very important because sometimes, especially men, by the way, you bury these experiences so deep that it's quite hard to find after a while. And we try to cover up and we try to become oblivious to it, but it never does disappear. It's not going to. So what happens is the body speaks to us and speaks to us and speaks to us. And the dis-ease in the body, the disorder, the pain become worse and worse and worse. So let's say mild stomach discomfort will come to gastric reflux, will get to poor digestion, which will get to, it could be irritable bowel, it could be Crohn's disease, it could be something, it could be then a problem with the colon, the anus, the sphincter, or you could even develop a mass, because what we don't let go of is going to create something in us. So I've had all these kind of things happening with people, varying degrees. And until we listen to the body, we're going to get more and more diseased. Let's call it that. This particular person, 20 years ago, they cut the sphincter muscle because it was in such a spasm. They cut the sphincter muscle. So this had been going on for such a long time. He must have been about 30. And he also tells me that 2 years ago, the pain just became intolerable. So for 2 years, he's had problems. He's also developed hemorrhoids. And for the last week or so, he's had the most terrible stomach and intestinal pain. He also told me that 2 years ago, they put up 2 cell phone towers. One is within 200 meters of his house, and the other one's close by as well. And that's a very big problem to me, because when I looked on the radiation panel, you know, the levels are right up to 250, 260, and it should be 100. Over 300, you are can be classified, diagnosed, labeled with radiation toxicity, and you just burning up. And that's going to affect the RNA and the DNA sequencing programming of the body, which is every single cell in the body, which is going to affect the whole entire body after time. So these are also things to take cognizance of. And then let me see. Yeah, so that's the main sort of background. He's also developing a little bit of a cough recently and backache. So we went through the background history. We know what's happening. We can see that there's extreme anger, and the quantum device, the QUEXED, is telling me anger, and it's telling me lungs. Lungs would be sadness, anger would be liver, and both of those are up. It's also telling me that the glandular secretion of all the hormones, all the enzymes for digestion, all the neurotransmitters is blocked. The blood is thick, and the liver and the gallbladder are blocked, not working optimally. So the chemical messages, the messages from the body, are not reaching the brain, the hypothalamus, pituitary, and pineal. Those that are, the brain is not releasing. So there's a whole breakdown. Digestive enzymes of poor. I've never in my life seen a reading of 305 out of 100. In other words, such poor digestive enzymes. So never mind the low hormone releases and the low neurotransmitter releases. That would be your serotonin, your dopamine, your GABA. So you can see what's happening to this person. There's a downward spiral. Of course, the adrenals are involved too, and the charge of the body is involved, and also there's calcification happening. So that can also happen in the brain, where the brain calcifies, and even if the messages are getting there, it can't quite release the hormones either. So we are decalcifying with the chunkapiedra. We also, that would be 4 a day to remedy this quickly, so we can get the digestive enzymes and hormones and neurotransmitters secreted. We also taking 4 replica RNA DNA a day to start restoring this nuclear damage. He says he's got an EMF pendant. He's not wearing it. I said, well, you better wear it because it's so high. I even suggested an earthing mat where he works, where he sleeps, where he sits. He's constantly on the earth, as well as putting his feet on the ground every day for half an hour. He says, yes, but it's cold. I said, yes. So put 6 blankets around you, put your bare feet on the ground, and believe it or not, it's going to get warm underneath your feet. But at least during that time, you can then, your body can absorb the electrons, which carry a negative charge, and displace all the EMF, which is carrying a positive charge, and the organisms that are attracted to the EMF frequencies as well, because everything's happening, in a dynamic spin. So that needs to happen. And the reason for that are those 2 cell phone towers that are so close to him. This person, I'm going to say also, from a health point of view, does everything. Everything that he's known, he's read, he's studied, he knows what to do, and he can't come right, can't get it right. So it's no use blaming, it's no use being angry, it's no use being sad about it. We've got to get underneath the physical. So it's also, the quantum's telling me that the mental factors are just burning out the brain. The brain is boiling hot, which is not how it should be. We should be centered and peaceful in the gut, in the heart, and operating from that optimized position of health and well-being. So the end result of this whole discussion is, how do we self-discover? How do we re-establish the joy, the happiness, the peace, the freedom that we came in with? Okay, before we collided with the genetics, the epigenetics, and lived our life according to a plan. So even if you, I can use myself an example here. even if I got on a plane, went to visit a city, found it was cold, started getting backache, for whatever reason, walked with friends, ended up in a cold restaurant, ended up in a cold house. This was all the setup so that I could shift in consciousness by healing the body. So the body displayed, I manifested dis-ease in the body, disorder in the body in the way of flu. We can blame the flus that are out there on the normal COVIDs. We can blame it on someone who we were in contact with. We can blame it on anything. But we set it up. I set it up to get cold, to get sick. So again, I could blame it on all the sequences, but around me, people were getting sick. So what is it? And how come, even if it is a physical spraying of, however way you want to look at it, of dis-ease, parasites, etc. How come everybody isn't flattened? How come at different times different people get ill? How come a young girl in Mauritius is dying of bronchitis and the elderly people aren't? How come all of this is happening? So as much as we put emphasis on being healthy and following all the rules, we are going to shift in consciousness, and we need our body to shift with us. And it's happening so quickly at the moment that we often don't give ourselves time to rest, and we go. So the shift is more painful. It's more noticeable. And also we don't stop, so we don't give ourselves an easy way out. So this just happened to me now, and I decided to actually stay in bed, not see the clients not see a whole lot of clients, and basically get well and work out what I needed to do. The quantum skier told me there's a blocked emotion here. And I was so grateful for that, because how come I was getting backache? How come that cold house, the cold restaurant, the whatever was set up to exacerbate the backache for me to stop and say, what's happening? So the first thing I did was ask the backache what I need, what needs to shift, what do I need to process? So I just overwhelmingly embraced what was there and went through it and worked out. I was using my own HAO program, the HAO, Holistic Ancestral Orientation Program, to start dissecting what needed to shift and where it was located. And once I did that, I got freedom. The headache lifted. It never went to my throat, but the sinusitis headachy thing, the backache, the aches, the pains just absolutely went. So I'm sharing this with you because these are tools and skills that nobody has, and nobody's teaching about, and it's just really that simple. So getting back to this chap I'm speaking about, he's doing everything right. He's topping up his copper levels, he's topping up his calcium levels, he's taking probiotics, he's taking flaxseed oil, and he's doing it all. And in fact, by the way, he was referred to me by another practitioner, and he basically said to me, please take this guy and help him because I'm not getting anywhere. Nothing I'm doing is working. In fact, this chap was even on those life wave patches, which we also sell and use and work. And he said to me, the practitioner, nothing's working here, Jane. I've also known this guy for a long time. He's actually a personal friend of mine, and I don't know what to do anymore. So we're moving through, you see. And the whole time I'm conscious of the harmony, the peace, the balance that needs to be maintained. I'm understanding why it goes out of balance. There's resistance happening so that we can shift in consciousness and get back into balance. Speaking to this man, as I said, his wife was, also, I think she's also probably reached a stage where well, they've spent so much money on physical stuff. And the LifeWave patches do work. You know, microbiome reset, Chunka Pedra replica, the parasite cleansers, the Almost Gold, they do work. So why are we not getting there? And I'm sure a lot of you listening to this are in a little bit of a similar boat. And I said to him today that you're going to carry on spending. You know, he said, I'm going to the doctor tomorrow to check. I said, what are you checking? Well, I'm going to check the piles. I'm going to check the sphincter. I said, yeah, and then I said, we've got to get to the emotional space underneath all of this and clear the dad, give the dad the anger back, clear the mom, give her sadness back so that you can purify, live in freedom. But what we do is you actually feel the shift. So a young guy today came, 18 years old. And there's two sides of this as well. There's a mother story and a dad story. But dad could have been more involved. He could have been less cold. He called his father cold. Okay, so we traced it all back. And we found a place where there was a balanced male figure. And joined with this balanced male figure before the male domination started. So it was lots of years ago, where there was peace and harmony. And we brought that peace and harmony into the client. But before we started, that client had a lot of confusion and disturbance, negativity. When I put that client on the quantum, this client is a big A-team, A-league sportsman. So when the client goes to play, he's filled with negative thoughts and self-doubt. Very clever client, doesn't have the confidence. So understand that this is what's a rate limiting factor, because he's not free to play the sports as he should, as free and easy, because he's shrouded. And that you will live your life shrouded, and you will live your life he's trying to repair the male dominance in the lineage. And you will choose a partner that you're going to try to shift, to rectify it all. It's never going to work. He has to change himself, be comfortable with why and whatever happened, the evolution of humanity, and balance his yin and yang, his binary relationship between his masculine and his own feminine, so that he chooses a partner one day that's balanced, not unbalanced, to try and balance him. Are you getting what I'm saying? So because he's balanced now, he's going to attract a different kind of a partner, where it's more an even keel. It'll never be totally even, because we have to work with resistance experiences to change our consciousness, to shift constantly. But we need to balance ourselves first. All right. And why did we choose this partner? What are they here to teach us? For example, what do we need to learn? Where is this memory residing in our lineage? And at the same time, we're taking the microbiome reset, we're taking the flaxseed oil, we're cleaning and purifying ourselves with oxygen, because yes, there are toxins out there, and we're responsible for them anyway. We manifested them, we created them. The diseases, call it COVIDs, or whatever you want to call it, we manifested them. Yes, you can pinpoint them probably to a manufacturer laboratory. You can live the story, you can believe the story, you can do all that. But we manifested it. The world wars, we manifested. The male dominance, what I've just spoken about, we manifested it. So let's be mature. Let's take responsibility and move forward. Understand why, when, who, and why, and how. And move forward. Raise our consciousness. That's what all of this is about. And in doing so, raise our joy, raise our freedom, raise our peace, raise our happiness. And I just took a break in my part 1, 2, and 3 series where I'm looking at the physical, because I just feel here and now we need to get a grip on it. There's a lot of disease going on out there. Let's embrace it. Let's get in the sun. Let's get on the earth. Let's hydrate ourselves. Let's breathe. Let's go into the body part that's speaking to us. This client this afternoon then went back in. So actually, let me share this with you. He couldn't quite get the confusion and the negativity to speak to him. So we went into the heart, which was full of love and happiness. I said, find a place that doesn't feel quite right to you. And immediately he found it. Immediately we could go and find the male dominance. See, I can't say that. The client needs to self-discover that. And that's not my role. I just set up the field. And I said to him at the outset, you are in control here. You want to go into this 50%, 75, 90, or 100%. You choosing. If you go for it all in, you will get 100% out. If you release the brain, put it outside the door, and you work with the heart and the gut, you will get 100% back. I can't do that for you. You have to say, I'm going to move forward, whatever comes my way. So we got it into the heart, and we got where we needed to come back. When you go back in the heart, that funny area that's not okay, that's negative, is not there. The dizziness, the negative emotions have gone. That is self-transformation created by a quantum collapse, handing the memories back and living now in freedom. And a balanced, binary, male, female, yin, yang, happiness, sadness. It's got to both be there. It's not an either or. It's not at either ends of a line. It's right here. And we've got to have the happiness and the sadness for the resistance so that we can shift. Otherwise, why are we here? And in doing all this, I mean, this chap was 18 years old. I wish I was 18 years old and I'd done a couple of these, because my goodness, my life would have been much less of a struggle. I would have understood stuff. I would have been able to work better with my children. I'm not upset about it, but I'm just saying the youth are coming quicker, because they are going to be taking the reins now to take the next step for humanity. Getting back to this client, we need to now dig down deep, go into the father's lineage. Why is he angry? Was he angry with his father, and who was angry with his father? And let's find a peaceful place. Why was the mama drunkard? Where is the possible sadness? Why is she like this? Why did she have to inebriate herself all day, every day? What is the block? What is the emotional problem? Why did she have to do that to forget? What is she trying to forget? And then we can unravel it. Very, 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 very exciting work this. That's the how. That's the holistic ancestral orientation. And that's where we cleanse and purify the emotional, spiritual, neurological, and physical self. So it's easy, and it's not a big emotional cadenza. It's just standing and working with the quantum field. All the quantum field wants to do is help you heal, because it knows that is the progression of humanity, the progression of the world, the earth. It's the renewal that's so needed now. And the alignment now is geared to massive, quick shifting. And let's clear it, because we don't need to carry this on the planet at the moment at all. So what I want to share with you on a physical level, and I am going to give a list to you all. Let me just go there. I wanted to share with you sort of some basics. We've got enough time. Let me just find it quickly. I typed it earlier here. Okay, so somebody started saying to me, one of my clients, Jane, I'm seeing what you're posting. I'm seeing all of this, but I take algae mix, I take bean mix. I stopped the replica RNA for 3 months. Should I start it again? How much must I take? What about the stress defense shield? What about? So I thought to myself, okay, and I've talked about it so much. Part 1, 2, and 3 are about the minerals, the proteins, and the sugars. There's recent ones, but I've also talked about it before on my YouTube channel, Jane Mackenzie. You can go and have a look at these. Okay. So I thought, okay, so it's bringing out these questions. Let me summarize how we get this battery working. All right, because this battery, as I said earlier, has to give this body energy, frequency, life force, vitality, charge, currency to conduct us so we can walk on the earth and live our destinies, self-discover. So number 1 is those minerals. And I talked about the almost gold, silver, copper, nickel, platinum, palladium, iridium, etc. Number 1, do it. It's a daily thing. I take it every day. Number 2, those are the superconductor transducers. That's why it's in a silver paper, to keep the electrons in. It's highly, highly active. It just charges us. It just gives us this whoosh of electrons. The next one are the semiconductors, which are the replenished electrolytes with boron, calcium, magnesium, potassium, for example, and the rest of the electrolytes. Have to have them, because without that, the cells can't communicate. They can't transfer the food through to the cell, from the blood into the cell. They can't transfer the waste out, can't put the oxygen in, take the carbon dioxide out. So we have to have the semiconductors as well. That's the replenish. Then other foods that contain a lot of minerals would be the Irish sea moss, 92 minerals, the shilajit, 72. That's an upscaled version of natural fulvic acid, but it's got more minerals in it, more power. Kelp, spirulina, all those what I call high-level foods, high-frequency foods. They've all got minerals, whether it's pollen, whether it's raw jelly, whether it's algae, whether it's medicinal mushrooms, chaga, lion's mane, cordyceps. They've all got loads of natural minerals. And this is what I find I'm speaking to so many people about, in the food state form. Because what people do is they rush out and they buy, I was heard tonight as well, this guy, he's on, and I can't even remember it all, but for example, vitamin D, magnesium, and zinc. Now, what's going to happen when you take those 3 only? You're going to go out of alignment. You must see how low his copper level is from taking all the zinc. Those people in COVID that rushed out and started loading their bodies with zinc, you must see how low their copper levels got, because it's like a wheel. And copper and zinc are opposite. If you take too much zinc, the copper is going to go down, and vice versa. So you can't just do that. And people sitting in labs doing this, well, I don't know. They're not thinking. They don't know what they're doing. If I feed my spinach or my kale or lettuces or whatever, only 3 nutrients, that food is going to go out of alignment. But if I feed that food spirulina or kelp or almost gold, I'm going to have the most amazingly abundant crop of spinach or kale or lettuce. Same with me. If I feed my body and you feed your body with food state nutrients, you're going to have abundant health. You're going to think clearly. You're going to live productively in all areas of your life, because it's not going to be a mineral deficiency. So why are people coming to mineral deficient? Because of worry, anxiety, lack of consciousness, and running out and buying all these expensive synthetic, mostly supplements. Another one had, look at my vitamin Bs, please. And I look at it and there's 7. Now I know from the QUEXED, and there's probably more, there's about 18 to 24 vitamin Bs. So what's going to happen if you only take 7? And I looked them up, synthetic, and it even says synthetic. So your body's got to sees it as a toxin. It's got to rearrange it. Some of it's going to go in at a huge energy expense to your body. The rest of it, the toxins are going to get stored or hopefully released, excreted. Now, we can save our body all that time. Just go for food state. Go for good food. In my own experience, raw food, salads, etc., etc. If you up that, you are going to get amazing mineral levels. Apart from energy levels, apart from consciousness. So I'm not saying go extreme in any way, but if you increase your raw intake with your probiotics, with your almost gold, with your everything you need, you are going to get much better absorption. Flaxseed oil, you're going to get a better absorption of food and into the cell. So I'm just sharing with you the pearls. They're going to shift us, the whole world, to a better reality. I think we all admit we're getting so close to that turning point when we have a look and see, what's happening out there and what's then happening within us. It's a mirror. So, the bigger the war out there, the bigger the war in here too, which we can be grateful for, because we can actually, it's a barometer for us. I talked about it before. The more missiles that are fired out there, the more missiles are needing to be that are being fired within us. So let's stop the war within till we can stop the war without, is what I'm really saying. So we'll talk about oils now. Second, after the minerals, the flaxseed oil does what no other oil does. In relation to the life force in the body, it's the highest spin of all the oils. It's needed for the transfer of oxygen and food into the blood. It's needed for the transfer into the cells. It's needed for omegas. It's essential. We don't make it. Listen to my last 3 webinars for more details. So obviously it's there. I mean, the other things that are there are the other really good oils, being, flaxseed oil, black seed oil. These are all wonderful oils. And I did an experiment as well. I started reading about seed oils and all the propaganda about seed oils. So I thought to myself, okay. And remember, I've got the quantum machine, so I can check anytime what's happening. So for about 6 months, I didn't take a lot of or any essential oils. Well, when I put myself on, I was absolutely flat out deficient. And then I got a client who has end of the tongue of esophageal cancer. And there's certain causes of cancer. One of them is a deficiency in fatty acids. And that's why the professor who invented the quantum machine goes on and on and on about flaxseed oil and fatty acids. Because without that, there's a specific cancer that you develop. My client has it. So the whole time I'm learning and I'm become conscious of things, and clients are showing me stuff that I'm able to reflect back. So this client went immediately onto large and high doses of oil, cold pressed, otherwise you can't digest it, to start fixing the body. I did as well. So don't worry about the stuff you read. Stick with what I'm telling you. Stick with natural. The flaxseed oil, it grows near where we live. It's not deep down in the bottom of an ocean that's freezing. It doesn't have the density of fish oil. It has the density of the sun and the earth where we live. And it's just, you know what I think it is? It's about logic and getting rid of the confusion. What does your gut feel tell you? What does logic tell you? And you'll have your answers. Get back to the binary balance. And then it's good proteins. That replica RNA, DNA gives you all 5 building block proteins for everything you need. It's a no-brainer. You can do then my stem cells, plant-based proteins. You can do algae mix, bee mix, mushroom mix. Again, kelp, sea moss. So to answer that lady's question, in fact, this is what prompted my list. She needs to look through and use her own logic, her own gut feel, her own consciousness to say, you know what, for me this month, I'm going to be doing this, and this. Jane's told me the building blocks. She's told me the proteins that I need, the oils, etc. And I'm going to work with this. The stress defense, the brain fuel. That's why I keep giving you products, because it's all here, on a plate for us. Are you getting enough antioxidants? So while we're using oxygen to purify the body, an oxidant, which is a no-brainer, and we have to have it because of the toxins that are physically out there, we've also got to look at antioxidants, because when our body's cleaning and it's cold and we're defending maybe these toxins out there, I'm not talking about self-manifested. We can also debate, do we self-manifest the heavy metals? It's another question, another day. But we do need glutathione. We do need vitamin C. So that's the phyto C with phytosterols. It's the glutathione. I've got both of them. And up it when you notice that your body, or you feel your body needs it. So have this all available, and then you don't reach a point where there's, like me, no fatty acids, because I checked, wanted to see what would happen. So no, we can't do that. We need the DMSO, the tree sap, as a solvent, to constantly dissolve clots. Why we got clots? Because of radiation. This chap here is living with 2 cell phones right near him. He has clots. His blood is thick. Fact. That's what it is. He never touches the ground. He doesn't have a GPS. His body's constantly looking for Sherman resonance, it's called. Where are you based? Where are you placed on the earth? I'm trying to find you. So got to have earthing. Got to have, be aware of radiation. Radiation is going to knock all our nutrients out, and our DNA and our RNA. That's fatal. Once your genetic code is damaged, your seat of consciousness is out, and you're going to lay yourself open for disease. So same here, probiotic have to have. It's essential. We don't make beneficial organisms. Have to have. So get the microbiome reset. It's 2nd generation. You're getting 80 to 120 live strains. I work in a health pharmacy. The most you're going to get in the fridge is 12. It's a cold chain item, which means, was the cold chain broken? If it was broken, those organisms are dead. What are you paying for that versus what are you paying for a live probiotic? Otherwise, you're getting 1 or 2 at most. Again, if I fed my spinach one probiotic in the soil, what's going to happen? No, it's not going to be strong. If I'm giving it probiotics, I give my veggies the universal probiotic before a 2nd generation brood, etc. Same basis microbiome reset is what I'm saying, and there's no disease. Disease, insects will come and eat off a plant that's out of balance, same as us. It will manifest. So, again, I'm sharing with you my experiences. They're simple. Enzymes. I mean, this chap wasn't, because of the state he'd got himself into and the intense heat and overload of the brain, he's calcifying and he's not releasing all those beautiful enzymes, hormones, neurotransmitters. So right now he needs them. And there's natural ones. There's the nattokinase, which we have. It's pure. It's made from soybeans. You can get the nattokinase in the soybean. It's a very mucousy, not myrcene, I don't know. Get it if you're fine with it. You're going to have to put lots of lemon juice and salt on it because it's very bland, but get it. If not, and you can't tolerate it, then get the nattokinase. And then there's the digestive enzymes. I have 7 in mine to help the body. This man needs it. He's not digesting anything. So even the minerals are not getting absorbed. Even the oils are not getting absorbed. I mean, he's running on empty. And he's getting exasperated now, and he's had enough. And even his wife is coming in on the consultation. So we know we've got to do something urgently. If you don't absorb, it's like the petrol not getting to the engine. Not like it is that. So what I've excluded from this is, and this is what you pick up from a quantum reading, is the organ cleansing, liver, gut, kidney, skin, lungs. Fat reduction. Are you not digesting your oils properly? Are you weighing too much? Are you accumulating too much weight? Are you calcifying? It comes from extreme acidity, too much thinking, too much adrenaline, too much uric acid. How many parasites are you manifesting or harboring in your body? How many toxins are sitting there, environmental, chemical toxins? Are you not digesting properly protein? Many people, so the lymph is getting blocked. Are your blood vessels building up? Do they need to be cleaned? Is the blood too thick? Is the blood sugar building up? Are your male and female hormones out of balance? So we got to look in short term, like a month, to just come in and help the body quickly. It might be a need for some other minerals like iodine or copper, as I've said, a magnesium, a potassium, a calcium. And I talked about how to bring that in. So I've done my best to formulate a really easy available, you could call it health kit, to maximize health and well-being on a physical level and on an emotional level, and ultimately, obviously, spiritual, so that you can achieve your own destiny, your own self-discovery. 50%, 75, 90, 100%, it's not my choice. What you choose for your life, this life. But for me, the end of the day, when I'm on my deathbed, and I suppose it's going to happen, I want to look back and say, a life well lived. You did what you needed to do. You dispensed with the anger, the sadness, the fear, anxieties, the blame. With maturity, you self-adjusted, self-healed, discovered more about yourself, and you're leaving the planet on a much higher consciousness level. Bear in mind, we came in on a high level, but I want to leave on a higher level. And know also that the people that I interacted with also shared in this, and I also evolved by interacting with them too, because it's always two ways. So what I'm seeing and experiencing in people, I'm working on myself, and likewise with you, whoever you're interacting with too. So be grateful for the experiences, embrace it all. Don't see it as a negative, as a problem, as I should have, I could have, why didn't I? The time is now. It's not about I've left it too late, never. When the time's right, the time's right. And it's just human nature, because we set up a human construct to ignore and ignore and ignore and ignore. So we dispense with that. We unravel that construct, which is a earthly conscious reality. It's not real. And we move into the consciousness space where there is universal consciousness, the universal field of wisdom, where the subconscious and the superconscious prevail. It's always there. It's always been there. Okay. And it's where we've come from over the eons of time. We will still be there. We, at this stage in our evolution, we cannot answer everything. So it's accepted. We don't have to know everything. And I think if you live your life like that, you will automatically become more conscious, because you're not striving, you're not anxious about not knowing everything, and it's okay. When the time's right, we'll know. When the time's right, the scrolls will be found, put it that way. And even quantum physics can't find everything. And when I look at the ancient Eastern philosophies, well-being, holistic approach to life, there aren't words to explain the end and the end and the end, where it is too. So we at this stage, we got this far, and we're able to understand and explain and put words to certain things. But a lot of what I've said probably doesn't have words, and I'm okay with that. I just want to maximize every single day, learn as much as I can, and self-correct. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying. I'm putting in effort, and if I ignore something for too long and I do manifest an illness, or I manifest infection or something, great. Let me learn what that backache was all about. Let me release the pelvis and what I've been storing or owning from past lineage. It's okay. And the minute I release it, the backache releases and the flu goes, for example. So I'm here to help, and don't delay is what I'm saying. There's a relief out there so that we can get to joy, freedom, peace, happiness. And the self-transformation is real. You know it. You've done it. So don't think that even though I've read out to you a nice way to live, it's not the be and end all. It's getting you hell of a far way in advance to anyone else to be living holistically, healthily on a physical level, and then we work with the rest. And once you've done a couple of treatments with me, you can self-heal. You know, it's there to be shared. It's not owned by anyone, and it's not where only one person can heal you. So anyway, I think I've said enough, and I hope I've inspired you to, you know, continue your journey, self-heal, not give up, because that's not what it's here for. It's just self-inspiration and just creating, you know, the wheel moving and raising your spin, raising your life force, your vitality, your energy of this body and our life on the planet. And we need more and more people to be doing this to what can I say, survive where we're going at the moment. So again, what we see out there is the catalyst, and even our own self disorder between the resistance is a catalyst where we need to be going. The self-discovery was what it's all about. So thanks for your time. I've really enjoyed being with you all. And thank you for your message there, Dipti, about thank you, so powerful, so workable, many blessings. Thanks for being with me. I don't always see all of you on here for some reason, so I really want to thank you all, and thank you for the inspiration too. Lots and lots of love, and let's go and do it. Bye for now.